About radar and how it relates to our writing. So, radar is an acronym, meaning each letter stands for a different word. We use radar in our writing. It's a revision strategy. So, after you draft a first draft of something, we will always recommend that you radar it, meaning you replace, add, delete, and reorder. This is just a very deliberate way of editing your work. It works for all sorts of writing, whether it's nonfiction, persuasion, poetry, narrative. It's always a good idea to revise your work before publishing or submitting. So let's take a look at each one of these categories. It would be my suggestion that when you go to radar your work, you would work left to right through these columns one at a time. You'll start with replace. Oftentimes, we need to replace words and sentences in our work. So let's go through what can be replaced. First, words that are not specific. Now that we are in 7th grade, it is important that we use enhanced words. So we're going to get away from happy, sad, fast, slow. You know words that are more vibrant and more detailed than these. Furthermore, we don't want overused words. Oftentimes, when we're focusing on one specific topic, we may repeat that word. It's a good idea to use word variety. Or maybe we're using words that are trite or overused or old. You want to make sure that your writing doesn't sound bland. This works with what I said before about specific. So if you're not sure, if there's another way to say what you're saying, you can always use a thesaurus. Your English teacher will have those available in their classroom, but you can always access a thesaurus online or through Word. Finally, you want to replace the unclear sentences in your work. The best way to identify an unclear sentence would be to read your work aloud to yourself or to read your work aloud to another person. Oftentimes when we write, things make sense to us when we read them to ourselves in our head, but once said aloud, it's a little bit different or unclear. Next, you would move to the add column. Here, you are going to add new details and descriptive words and adjectives and adverbs. So can you put adjectives in front of your nouns and adverbs in the sentence to enhance what you say and possibly provide more visual description to your readers? You can also add rhetorical and literary devices. Think about your wordy wisdom lessons and how you can incorporate those into your writing. Can you add similes and metaphors, alliteration, and different things like that? Next, you will move to the delete column. Here, you are going to delete any unrelated ideas, repeated words, ideas, phrases, and unnecessary ideas. So what does that mean? Unrelated ideas. Sometimes when we write, we may add details that are off topic and unrelated to our main idea. Make sure that every line serves a purpose in your paper or whatever you're writing. Next, repeated ideas, words, and phrases. This goes back to possibly overused words. So if you repeat the same word throughout the writing, change it to another, find word variety, or if it needs to be eliminated, go ahead and do that. Unnecessary ideas also relates to the unrelated ideas. This would be if you've gone off on a subtopic that possibly does not contribute to the overall idea of your paper or writing. Finally, reorder. Make sure that your writing follows logical flow, meaning there is an introduction, supporting ideas, and then a conclusion. Now that may look different depending on what you're writing. Obviously, poetry is formatted differently than, say, a research paper, but all of it needs a logical flow. Make sure that your conclusion doesn't end abruptly, and make sure that you don't start your writing abruptly. You want to draw your reader in and then give a nice wrap up. Make sure that details relate to the main idea. Again, we're not going off topic. I hope this helps, and make sure, like I said, that you radar every piece of writing that you produce before you publish anything. Good luck.